So we just talked about adding polynomials. Now let's talk about doing the opposite and subtracting. So it's going to be almost the exact same thing. There's slight differences. So last time we said if this is a plus, we could drop our parentheses. That's not true for this case. I'm actually going to go with the column method first. So I'm going to line them up and subtract down because I feel like that one makes a little bit more sense here. So again, we need to look at our exponents and make sure that our polynomials align correctly. So the first one, we're going to have a to the third minus 2a squared. And we don't have an a for this one, so I'm going to put plus 0a. And we're going to do the same thing for the second one. Notice this one doesn't have any thirds, so we need to start here. This will be 3a squared plus 4a. And now we need to subtract our terms, which means we can either distribute our negative or just read the subtraction. And I want to leave space for that placeholder here because I forgot. There we go. So let's start at the end. 0 minus 4. So this one becomes 0 minus 4a. The second one becomes negative 2 minus 3a squared. And the last one becomes a to the third minus, I'm sorry, not a, 1 minus 0, a to the third. So I'll write that out again so you can actually read it this time. 1 minus 0, and it's 1 because there's a 1 here, a to the third, plus negative 2 minus 3, a squared, plus 0 minus 4, a. 1 minus 0 is going to give me 1a to the third. Negative 2 minus 3 is going to give me negative 5a squared. And 0 minus 4 is going to give me negative 4a. Last thing I can do is remember, if we have a minus or a negative sign and a plus, technically we can get rid of this and change it to a negative. So this negative can also work as a minus sign. And we really don't need that 1. So we now have a to the third minus 5a squared minus 4a. So again, I think this way right now will work a little bit better for us. So let's go ahead and do another example with this way. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start. We always want to make sure this one goes on top. The first one goes on top with subtraction. When we were doing addition, it didn't really matter. So I'll have 3x to the fourth minus 3x. And then I have x to the fourth. It's a minus x to the fourth and a plus 3x. And it's minus because that minus is technically also a negative. I'm going to put our equal bar down, drop some parentheses and throw a negative out front. So we would have 3 minus negative 1, 3 minus negative 1, x to the fourth, plus negative 3 minus 3. 3 minus minus 1, or minus negative 1, because there's two negatives, this really becomes plus. So now we have 3 plus 1, which gives us 4x to the fourth. Negative 3 minus 3 gives me negative 6x. And then I can get rid of that sign, and I'd have 4x to the fourth minus 6x. Next, we're going to talk about doing it horizontally. Again, this way could be a little bit more confusing for you, but that's okay. We're going to still do it. We need to distribute our minus sign. So treat it like a negative, and we're going to distribute it if we're going to do it horizontally. So we would leave the first one alone, 5a plus 4. We're going to distribute that negative, which means we now have a plus in between, and negative 5a. And this is a plus with a minus, so it's now a minus. And then we can get rid of our parentheses. And combine like terms. We would put our positive and negative 5a, we would have 5 minus 5a, and we would have 4 minus 3. 5 minus 5, that's going to give me 0a plus 1, which is just going to leave me with 1. Depending on the type of person you are, you may really like this method. You also may really like this method. It's going to be personal preference. That's why I'm showing you both. And the last one, again, first thing you need to do is oh man, I can't speak today, guys. First thing you need to do is distribute that negative sign to every number. So the first one doesn't change. It's going to be 12a to the 5th minus 6a minus 10a to the 3rd. And since we got rid of that negative sign, it's now going to be a positive. And 10a plus a negative sign would give us negative 10a. Negative 2 plus another negative gives us positive 2a to the 5th. And same thing for the last one, negative 14 plus another negative sign gives us positive 14a to the 4th. Now, all I have to do is combine my like terms because again, I can get rid of those parentheses. Let's go ahead and rewrite it without the parentheses. And then let's find our like terms. I have 2a to the 5ths. So I would have 12 plus 2a to the 5th. And then we need to find my a to the 4th because that would be coming next, which there's only one. A to the 3rd will be next, which again, we only have one. We have no a2s, no a squared, so the last thing we need to do is negative 6 minus 10a. 12 plus 2 gives me 14a to the 5th. There was only that one a to the 4th. Then we have negative 10 a to the 3rd, and we would have minus 16a.